Hello and welcome to Bliponomics. Phil had some car trouble tonight. I'm Jerry Anthony, and tonight we are talking all things Wakanda and all things Vibranium. But is Wakanda acting as if any and all Vibranium outside of Wakanda is stolen? We're going to talk about that. And if you want to be a part of the show, please subscribe wherever you're watching. And if you want to be a voice in the show, send an email to bliponomics@gmail.com. Vibranium is, of course, the extremely rare, virtually indestructible, impact-absorbing metal that comes from a meteor found in only one place in the world. It can protect, like Captain America's shield, or it can destroy, like in Sokovia. Now, we can't talk about one of the world's rarest, coolest, and most mysterious materials without talking about the equally cool and mysterious country of Wakanda. Because if you didn't know, as far as Vibranium is concerned, Wakanda is like the De Beers of Vibranium. They own it all, and they control the market. But this market is closed. Only 10 short years ago, the world thought Wakanda was an isolated, insignificant, and mostly poor African nation. That is until Ultron happens, and we find out billions of dollars of Vibranium was stolen from Wakanda and used by an insane AI to create an extinction event. And by the way, what happened to all that Vibranium? Is it still buried under the rubble of Sokovia? Did anyone dig up that stuff yet? Anyway, after Ultron, Wakanda stepped forward onto the world stage. We met their great king, King T'Chaka, and in what would be his final speech to the world, he said, "When stolen Wakandan Vibranium was used to make a terrible weapon, we in Wakanda were forced to question our legacy. This is a king who took responsibility for his role. Unfortunately, he was assassinated for his trouble by Helmut Zemo." Then the world met his son, King T'Challa, the Black Panther, the protector of Wakanda, a superhero warrior king and by all accounts, a great man. After the assassination of his father, King T'Challa pledges Wakanda will step out of the shadows and be a part of the world. They will share their knowledge and technology and build outreach centers all over the world. And the world scoffed. What could these people possibly offer us? Oh, nothing much. Just a literal bottomless pit of Vibranium. Well, surprise, surprise, not even 10 years later, every nation in the world saw what Vibranium can do, and they all have their hand out. But you promised to share all the Vibranium and you're not sharing. Important to remember, Wakanda never promised to share Vibranium. They said they'd share resources and they'd share technology, which, by the way, should be enough because apparently Wakanda is decades ahead of us in technology. And then fast forward to after the blip. We get the news, sadly and suddenly, that King T'Challa, the Black Panther, died of a mysterious illness. And I say mysterious simply because we don't know specifically what the illness was. He was a young man. I don't want to dive into any conspiracies. There's just not a lot of information flowing out of Wakanda. Anyway, King T'Challa, the Black Panther, the warrior king superhero, the man that personally led his armies on the field of battle against Thanos twice, while Wakanda and the world was mourning the loss of this great king, France decided this is a good time to get stupid. France thought, hey, Wakanda is kind of weak now, the Black Panther is dead, the new queen is in mourning. Let's send a hit squad into a Wakandan outreach center and try and steal us some of that Vibranium. Bad idea. France made a spectacularly embarrassing miscalculation. Here's what happened. Queen Romonda, the new leader of Wakanda, the widow of the assassinated King T'Chaka and mother of King T'Challa. Queen Romonda, in front of the whole world at the UN, exposed France's unprovoked aggression in 4K. While France was busy denying that they sent French soldiers into a Wakandan outreach center, the Queen brought in those French soldiers that didn't exist as prisoners of Wakanda and made them bend the knee at the United Nations in front of the whole world. Basically, Wakanda took France over her knee and spanked France's ass red. Queen Romonda drew a line in the sand and made it clear to the entire world Wakanda does not trade vibranium, period. She showed this is why we don't trade vibranium with you. We don't trust you. Case in point, look at France's red ass. And for a minute, things were less tense. France rubbed their red little fanny and went to the corner like a child, proverbially. Queen Romonda showed the world her strength, and then she showed the world her mercy. And shortly after that incident at the UN, we were shocked to learn about Queen Romonda's sudden death. We don't know the exact circumstances, so people, of course, speculate. Was it murder? Was it France? Was it someone else? Could it have been the US? Or there's just some real-life Game of Thrones stuff going on over there in Wakanda. So now, one can't help but worry about the new Queen Princess Shuri. My apologies, I'm not sure of her actual title. And I worry for the people of Wakanda. Not because I think they're weak, or because I think their house is in chaos, quite the opposite. But I worry simply for the fact that I know what happens when you tell a filthy rich person or a country, no, the stuff you want, the stuff that you so desperately want, you can't have. All your money, all your power, all your influence cannot buy you 1 ounce of vibranium. I worry that another one of these filthy rich persons or countries will be like France and try and pull some bullshit because of greed. And I worry because the next time Wakanda will not forgive. And after seeing what their mercy looks like, no one wants to see what Wakandan vengeance looks like. Anyway, that's my story. Let's hear yours. We're going to take a quick break and then read some of your emails. Welcome back to Bliponomics. We are going to read some of your emails. Sam is going to start us off. My hat's on standby. Sam, let's go. Oh my gosh, you guys are coming in hot and heavy today. Sam writes, I find Wakanda's actions very, very suspicious. I understand that Wakanda may argue about protecting their culture and sovereignty, but that's no excuse for ignoring international law. It's about accountability and fair trade. It's high time Wakanda stopped hiding behind its isolationist policies and started sharing its supposed technological advancements with the world. They can't keep hoarding vibranium while the rest of us suffer. The rest of us are suffering without vibranium? Okay. It seems Wakanda wants the status of a civilized world, but refuses to give their share. They refuse to let anyone in, which is highly suspicious. It baffles me how Wakanda has managed to hoard such a valuable resource without any oversight. Their secrecy raises doubts about their true intentions and the potential misuse of vibranium. I mean, what are they really doing with that stuff? How secure is it? How soon before we have another Sokovia? 100% Wakanda's fault, by the way. Sam, it didn't take long. I couldn't even finish your email without putting on my hat. Sam writes 100% Wakanda's fault, by the way. It's about time they realize they're not superior to the rest of us and that we deserve access to vibranium and the opportunities it presents. It's time to show us they mean peace and start trading, or else the UN should consider Wakanda a hostile nation and show them what a real army can do. They need to put aside their racism and start engaging in fair exchanges. They need to put their racism aside. What are they really doing with that stuff? Boy, that sounds familiar. If I didn't know any better, Sam, I think it sounds that you're trying to make an excuse to invade Wakanda. Maybe you think Wakanda needs a little American freedom? Sam, the armies of Wakanda fought Thanos' army twice. I don't think it's going to go the way you think it will. The fact is, Wakanda is under no obligation to let anyone into their country or trade any of their vibranium. But thank you for your thoughts, Sam. We have a new emailer. He goes by the name of Weird. Weird writes, while Wakanda and their motives for staying hidden and reclusive is somewhat understandable, I think it's unfair to us that they have completely gone back on King T'Challa, rest in peace, his word and are still keeping it to themselves. I've heard so many rumors about the incredible tech Wakanda has and what it can do for the world. Not to sound entitled, but I think we deserve to have our hands on at least a small bit of vibranium. That is fair. It would be nice to have some vibranium, but at the end of the day, it's Wakanda's vibranium, and Wakanda can do whatever they damn well please with their own vibranium. But thanks for the email, Weird. Next up, we have Nate. Nate writes, Holy Toledo. Nate wrote me a manifesto. Let me see if I can get through this quick. Hello, Bliponomics. I hope we can study vibranium soon. I'm excited about the endless possibilities it presents. Here are just a few examples. Protective gear for sports. Now you're talking. Vibranium's unique property of absorbing and dissipating kinetic energy makes it an ideal material for creating high-tech pads and protective gear for football. Yes. A vibranium helmet can be created not just to prevent concussions, but to eliminate them from the game. That is the best idea I have not heard yet, Nate. Vibranium to protect the cranium. Huh? I love it. Energy storage and generation. Its ability to absorb and release energy might enable the development of advanced batteries and power systems. Cool. More clean energy? I'll take it. Transportation innovations. They might attempt to build vehicles such as cars or aircraft with vibranium-infused frames. Ooh. Vibranium car bumpers would be pretty helpful and pretty handy. Okay, we got to go through this a little bit quicker. Structural engineering, vibranium strength for buildings. True, but it would be a very expensive building. He has medical applications. He writes, police equipped with vibranium would make our communities much safer. Whoa, Nate, let me stop you right there. I do not like the sound of that one bit. I love your idea about football helmets. You make a lot of great points. The police having vibranium, we don't need that. Damage control is enough of a problem already. We don't need two government agencies running around the streets with space-age weapons. But thanks for the email, Nate. I appreciate it. Next, we're going to Father Dinkle. Father Dinkle, he never misses an episode. Thank you. We never agree, Father, but I really appreciate hearing your opinions. First and foremost, I firmly believe that vibranium is an incredible blessing bestowed upon us on the Almighty himself. Joshua 10:11. Okay, we're not doing Bible quotes today, Father. It is undoubtedly a divine gift that holds immense potential to benefit all of humanity. In my fervent prayers, I've been asking the Lord to lead us to more sources of vibranium beyond Wakanda. You're feverishly praying that we can find more vibranium outside of Wakanda. Okay. I would love to see your prayer list, Father Dinkle. However, I must respectfully disagree with your assertion that Wakanda should have the sole right to do with this as they please. Now, I understand you believe in the sovereignty of Wakanda, but I strongly feel that this sovereign nation should open its doors not only to trade vibranium, but for Christian missionaries as well. He writes, I believe the Pope should declare vibranium as a divine gift from God to humanity. By doing so, it would be asserted that every human being has the inherent right to access and utilize this incredible resource. Of course, this should be done responsibly and with the spirit of cooperation. How is respecting Wakanda's history and culture by invading them, converting them to Christianity, and stealing their resources in the name of Jesus? Father, it sounds like you're trying to use Christianity to justify invading Wakanda and stealing their resources. I could not more strongly disagree with you, Father, as usual. All right, Dimitri tells me that we have a voice message. I am very excited about this. Our first voice message on Bliponomics. We really appreciate the support, guys. Let's see. Where am I going to find this? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Dimitri, help me out here, bud. Okay, got it. All right. This is another Mike. This is Mike again. Let's see what Mike.
I can't believe my fucking ears right now. You idiots are offended and wonder why Wakanda won't trade vibranium. Let me lay it out for you, because you're stupid. You're savages. You're pigs. You're greedy animals who can't be trusted. You're racist buffoons who cannot wrap their tiny peanut heads around the fact that a tiny nation in Africa is better than you in every single way. They're smarter than you, they're richer than you, and they certainly got a hell of a lot more class than you. And it just kills you because you know it's true. You know deep inside you, you're slime. You're garbage. Everything you touch turns to shit. You steal, you kill, you destroy. So no, you'll get no vibranium for the same reason a drunk doesn't get the keys.
Okay.
For the same reason a baby doesn't get a gun.
All right.
Fuck you.
Okay. I don't think he's... Wow. That was a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for your subscriptions and your comments that you've been leaving. I really appreciate it. Phil will be back next time. My name is Jerry Anthony. This was Vibranium. Have a great night. Thanks.